Okay, folks, welcome to the Contrarian Trader. We're going to go over our trade of BECN Roofing Supply Incorporated, symbol BECN, NASDAQ traded stock. Before I get to that, please enter your email address below if you want these videos in the future. They'll be sent direct to your email box. We hate spam too. If you watch this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you're watching this on StockTwits, Twitter, please follow me on both those networks, please. Okay, let's get to BECN Roofing Supply. When you take a look at the daily chart of BECN Roofing Supply, you probably say, what are you, nuts? You're catching a falling knife, Bob. Why are you doing this? I hear this constantly. Except our philosophy, our methodology of trading stocks like this gives us an edge because nobody else wants them. They're usually heavily shorted, which provides us a catalyst to the upside. So let's go over how we saw opportunity where others saw disaster. And to do that, we need to begin with, in this case, a monthly chart, either a weekly or a monthly chart. In this case, I used a monthly chart. Let's get to it. All right, so here you have BECN Roofing Supply on a monthly basis. And you could see, using this annotated blue line here, I drew it, and I drew it before we made the trade because we wanted to identify where there was historic support. If you go into a trade like this, an extreme oversold trade, without knowing where your historic support is, then you're walking around like a blind man without a cane. And I would agree with those who say you're catching a falling knife. But in this case, we have several triggers or measures that a stock must meet before we get involved with it. So let's take a look at our historic support level. We saw support at this level on several occasions. In 2006, in 2012, it acted as resistance on 3 separate occasions. And then after it broke out, it pulled back and retested what was resistance is now or was now support. So we were told by the markets using charts that this was very strong support. And the probability of the support level holding or at least being defended in the short term was fairly strong. So now we can move to our daily chart because now we've qualified where we want to get involved with the stock. Now we're smart. Daily chart. As you can see on the RSI, we are at oversold levels. Now, if you listen to Technical Analysis for Dummies, they would tell you to buy a stock once the RSI has crossed below 30. And that's why they have on stockcharts.com this line bold-faced. And were you to listen to that very silly rule, you would have gotten into the stock here. Your diminished confidence in the following days and the world of pain that you would have found yourself in would have probably caused you to stop out right when the stock was about to reverse. We've all been there. So what else do I like about this stock chart? Besides the fact that we waited, we didn't use 30, a silly measure. We used below 20 as our measure. We have high standards. What else do we like? Well, we drew our trend lines, and we identified a parabolic sell-off in a descending pennant formation, which was narrowing. And what that told us is that this downtrend was simply unsustainable. We knew there was support below. We knew RSI was well below 20. In fact, when we got involved with it, it was RSI 15. And then on the 21st, we saw what we wanted to see, and that was our bottoming tail. And that told us that the support level we identified on the historic charts was going to be defended. So we opened up our trade, and the stock subsequently took off. And believe me, I wanted to build an even larger position, but the stock simply got away from us, and we booked profits here on the 23rd. So why did we get out of this trade so quickly? Well, what was our fact? The fact is that we had a profit of $1,060, actually larger than that, but the stock pulled back some as noted by this topping tail, which is a sign of sellers below. And you could see the topping tail here was telling us that buyers here wanted to get made whole. They caught a falling knife, they just wanted out. Let's drill down to a 15-minute chart so I can better illustrate why we got out. What were we looking at? Now, I'm a firm believer that trading is all about psychology, and I respect the heck out of psychology. And these people back here who thought that the stock was consolidating. They were looking at the bottoming tails here on a 15-minute chart and then try to take it up. They were hammered like baby seals. So as we approached this prior support level and attempted to break through, you saw sell orders come through. And when I see a topping tail like this, I always refer back to my old trader's adage, and I have many of them, as my members will tell you. And that adage is, first out, best out. We saw we had well over $1,000 worth of profits in less than 2 days worth of work. Not too shabby. We saw topping tails as a sign of resistance. The probability that the momentum will now change was high. We booked our profits, moved to the sidelines, and then subsequently watched the stock decline. Now we can look to get back into the stock at roughly 50 cents cheaper. So we'll be looking to add back BECN in the coming week if the charts tell us that we see support below and the stock appears poised to rally once again. It is certainly not a short. And that's it, folks. Again, just as a reminder, if you want these videos in the future, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube. If you watch this on my website, please enter your email address below. I hate spam too. You will not be spammed. And for those watching on Twitter and StockTwits, please follow me. Everybody have a profitable trading week. Be well, and I'll talk to you soon.